ho! So let's talk about Avatar, The Way of Water. It was directed once again by James Cameron, and after 13 long years, a sequel has come upon us. And boy, oh boy, this movie, where do I start? It has a lot of depth, this movie, literally and figuratively. You have 3 large portions of the film in which we are fed. This is practically a buffet here. I see this now from the lens, from the mind of James Cameron, in which he definitely loves his water. He loves the earth. He loves the animals that inhabit this planet of ours. And it's on full display here, and it's so damn beautiful to look at. I mean, what kind of madman does this to people to make them watch this crap? in all due respect, I had 150% good time with this one. You have the likes of Sam Worthington here returning as Jake Sully, and it picks up many years after the first. This time around, he has a family, and he tells us like right away, family's a priority. You put yourself aside for the moment. You take care of your family. And for a minute in the first act, the first 25 minutes of the film, there's this, he's at peace with himself, and it really shines until some tragic events occur all over again, and it really sets the tone for the rest of the 3.5 hour runtime here. As far as the runtime goes, I did not feel it. It went by so fast. I was so engaged and so into the story. Everyone in this story, it seemed like the main characters were kind of put on the bench, so to speak, throughout this one. And the side characters were replaced, and I had no problem with that. I really liked spending time with these new characters, specifically Jake's children. And we also have another character who's introduced named Spider. Now he's this non-Avatar who's made himself at home with the tribes, and they accepted him for who he is, and I that came out of left field. I had no idea that there was going to be a character such like this introduced, but I was totally with it. As I was going into this one, I had heard a little bit about who the villain in this one was going to be, and it was, turned out to be the Colonel. I got to talk a little bit about Sigourney Weaver's character. So her character Grace is a scientist, and she dies at the end of the first one. But here, her body, her soul is practically transferred into a younger avatar, and so she is now a part of Jake Sully's family. And let me tell you, she is beyond belief unbelievable. She's amazing here. She's practically she's that good enough to have her own standalone film here. What they use this character, what they have her do, underwater and up above, is just just amazing. Yeah, Stephen Lang's back, and this time around he's not fucking around. He has one goal and one goal only, and that's to take out Jake Sully. Now he and Zoe Saldana, there is bad blood between them two, and that kind of carries on into this sequel. I'm gonna state the obvious. This film has exceeded my expectations. It exceeded everyone, I think, practically the whole world's expectations. Well, I don't say the whole world. I'd say people who went to see the film, got a chance to see it. To me, this sequel stands out. Well, let me run that back. This sequel to me is another version of the first one, or I'd say the first Avatar on steroids. You have a family. The family is the centerpiece of all this surrounding this beauty, and they have trials and tribulations throughout the runtime, and it clearly shows. And I tip my hat off to James Cameron. Zoe Saldana, she has a role in this one. Her role is kind of neither here or there. It's not a standout to me like in the original. I'd say Avatar was the introduction and of the characters we've come to know and love, and this one is okay. This is really the beginning of what's to come. And I have some. By the end of the film, I thought about it, and I think that I have an idea of what road we're headed down. I'm not sure though, but I have some ideas. Again, like I said, visually this was a masterpiece. This is now the front runner of my favorite movie of the year, and behind that is Wakanda Forever, Black Panther 2. But it's also so grounded to the way that Jake Sully's kids interact with each other it feels like they are, kids in today's generation, how they speak to one another, and sort of, that slang within their voice. I've kind of picked that up. So it feels like they are, just everyday kids who've grown up to this, being in Pandora and learning their ways and their culture. And so that blend of, the generation, that generational gap, and this world that they've been born into is really makes an interesting conversation and outlook on things. I gotta say that I was a little choked up by the end of the third act. So a little incident occurs. I don't want to get into it, any spoilers, because, for those of you who are watching this, by the way, subscribe if you can. And for those of you also who haven't got a chance to see it quite yet, who really want to. But yeah, all in all, this is question is, if it's on your mind, I'm not going to see it again in theaters. I think the first time around is special enough, and it's lengthy. So I want to savor these moments. I hope you enjoyed this review, and don't forget to like this video. Please do so. And I'll see you very, very soon. Take care.